In the heart of Tel Aviv, as dusk settles over the city, a soft orange light bathes the plaza once known as Rabin Square, now called Hostages Square. Here, hundreds gather beneath banners, candles, and fading photographs of those still missing. Their faces, sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, stare out from posters taped to the ground, fluttering in the night breeze. It is October 11th, 2025, just one day since a fragile ceasefire took hold between Israel and Hamas. And tonight, the atmosphere in the square is electric, not with anger, but with longing. Families who have endured 2 years of uncertainty have come here to listen, to hope, to remember. On a small stage, lit by a single spotlight, stands Steve Witkoff, the United States envoy sent by President Donald Trump to oversee the first phase of the peace deal. Around him, cameras hum, journalists whisper into microphones, and the crowd falls silent. Then, in a voice steady but full of emotion, he speaks. "Your courage has moved this world," he begins, his tone measured, deliberate, almost reverent. "You have prayed through endless nights and never let the world forget who your loved ones are, and in this way you honor and you bless them." For a moment there is no applause, only stillness. Some in the audience close their eyes. Others hold up photos toward the light, as if to show them to the world one more time. Witkoff's words hang in the air, both tender and heavy. It is not a politician's speech. It is a recognition of suffering, an acknowledgement of resilience. Behind him, a banner reads, "Bring them home." It has become more than a slogan. It is a plea written across the conscience of a nation. These families have camped, marched, and spoken for months, demanding the release of hostages still held in Gaza. Many have stopped counting days. Tonight they count promises. The ceasefire now underway was brokered by Washington after months of shuttle diplomacy involving Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey. It is the first tangible breakthrough after nearly 2 years of brutal conflict. Under the terms of the deal, known as the Trump 20-point plan, Hamas has agreed to release 48 Israeli hostages in exchange for Palestinian detainees, a monitored flow of humanitarian aid, and a phased withdrawal of Israeli forces from central Gaza. To the outside world, it may sound like another round of political maneuvering, but for the people gathered here, it is deeply personal. Each name on their posters, each candle in their hands represents a story waiting for closure. Witkoff's appearance tonight carries both symbolic and strategic weight. A close ally of the president, he has been shuttling between Jerusalem, Doha and Cairo, meeting officials and negotiating with intermediaries to make the ceasefire hold. Yet tonight, he isn't here as a strategist. He's here as a human being, to stand among the families whose courage has, as he said, moved the world. The square vibrates with emotion. A mother clutches her daughter's hand, whispering prayers. A young man kneels on the pavement beside a photograph of his missing brother. Behind them, television screens replay clips from Washington, the president calling the truce the deal that ended endless war. But in this plaza, words like peace and victory feel distant. Here, everything revolves around one word: home. Around the plaza, volunteers hand out candles and water bottles. A group of young Israelis sing softly, a melody that echoes off the concrete walls. Journalists from every corner of the globe stand shoulder to shoulder. CNN, Reuters, France 24, Al Jazeera, Sky News. For once, their cameras aren't capturing conflict, but hope. As Witkoff steps down from the stage, applause finally breaks out. It's not thunderous, it's restrained, heartfelt. He walks into the crowd, shaking hands, embracing parents, whispering quiet reassurances. "We are close," he tells one woman. "Hold on a little longer." She nods, tears spilling down her cheeks. For her, these aren't diplomatic updates. They are lifelines. The square, now known worldwide as a symbol of Israel's collective anxiety, has become an open-air memorial and a rally point. Every evening, families gather to light candles, recite prayers, and demand action. It is both protest and vigil, both despair and defiance. And tonight, with Witkoff's visit, it also becomes something else, a bridge between diplomacy and human endurance. The world is watching. In Washington, the president posts on Truth Social, "America stands with the families. The first hostages will come home." In Paris, Emmanuel Macron calls the truce a step toward rebuilding trust. In London, Kemi Badenoch praises the extraordinary resilience of the families. In Cairo, diplomats prepare logistics for the first convoy to cross the Rafah border, carrying Red Cross officials and medical teams. Yet not everyone believes. In Tehran, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi declares on state television, "There is absolutely no trust in the Zionist regime." His warning underscores how fragile this moment is, how easily a spark of hope can be extinguished by mistrust and history. Still, in Tel Aviv, faith lingers. You can feel it in the quiet determination of the crowd. You can hear it in the chants rising from the plaza. Now, now, bring them home. It is not a demand born of politics, but of love, the kind that refuses to surrender. A few meters away, a group of teenagers record a TikTok video with the #, hostages return home. Their generation has grown up under sirens and curfews, yet tonight they are united in something rare, belief that tomorrow might be different. Nearby, an elderly couple sits in silence holding hands. Their son was captured almost 2 years ago. They have attended every vigil since. When a reporter asks why they keep coming, the father replies softly, "Because if we stop, the world will stop looking." That sentiment, that refusal to disappear, is exactly what Witkoff meant when he said, "You have never let the world forget who your loved ones are." For months, these families have been the conscience of this conflict. They have turned grief into persistence, sorrow into activism. Their courage has forced governments to act, negotiators to compromise, and the media to keep watching. As the night deepens, the candles burn lower, but no one leaves. A guitarist begins playing Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. One by one, voices join in. Soon, the entire square is singing, some off-key, some through tears, but all together. For a few minutes, the divisions that define this land seem to blur. Above the square, drones hover, silent, watchful, but the crowd pays no attention. They've lived under far louder machines. Tonight, the only sound that matters is human. In a corner of the plaza, an artist paints a mural on a temporary wall, a dove carrying keys in its beak. The keys symbolize both return and release, the hope that locked doors will open, that families will be reunited. Children watch him paint, asking questions about the colors. White, he tells them, is for peace. Gold is for home. Nearby, a journalist records a stand-up report for international television. This is Hostages Square, where emotion has replaced politics. As the ceasefire holds, the world waits to see if this hope will turn into history. Behind the scenes, Israeli hospitals like Sheba Medical Center have already begun preparing for the hostages' return. Medical tents are set up. Psychologists, trauma specialists, and rabbis are on call. The Israeli military is coordinating with the Red Cross to ensure safe passage. Every detail is being calibrated to turn promise into reality. And yet, even with all this preparation, everyone knows how fragile it remains. In this part of the world, truces can vanish in a single night. The families here know that better than anyone, but they also know something else, that persistence is power, that by gathering, by speaking, by refusing to fade into silence, they can keep the world's attention fixed on their cause. Steve Witkoff's words will replay across screens in Washington, New York, and Brussels. Your courage has moved this world. It is a line that transcends politics because it touches something elemental, the human will to endure. By morning, clips from his speech are trending across social media. CNN calls it the moment of hope in Tel Aviv. The New York Post headlines, U.S. envoy moved to tears at Hostages Square. Even skeptical outlets describe it as a rare moment of unity. Diplomatic analysts note that the emotional tone of Witkoff's speech mirrors the White House's new emphasis on peace through strength, a phrase first used by President Trump during his 2016 campaign, but now reborn as a slogan for Middle East diplomacy. In this context, strength is not just military, it is emotional, moral, collective. It is the strength to keep believing even when history offers little reason to. As the rally winds down, Witkoff's convoy departs under tight security, but many remain behind. They sit on the pavement, singing, praying, telling stories. Some light new candles, others simply stare into the distance. A few journalists stay too, not to record, but to listen. The scene is quiet now, but powerful. In every corner of this square, grief and hope coexist like two halves of the same truth. This is not a place of celebration yet. It is a place of waiting, and that, perhaps, is what makes it so profound. Because in that waiting, in that refusal to give up, lies the true meaning of courage. As dawn breaks over Tel Aviv, the sky glows pink and gold. The plaza is scattered with melted candles and empty cups, but also with something invisible, a feeling that change, however uncertain, has begun. For those who came here tonight, Steve Witkoff's words will echo long after the lights go out. Your courage has moved this world. It is not a slogan, it is a truth, one written in every tear shed here, every photograph held high, every voice that refused to go silent. And in this city of endurance, amid the uncertainty of ceasefires and the exhaustion of conflict, that courage remains Israel's most unshakable weapon and humanity's most enduring hope.